Welcome to Wealthy Mind, where we talk about all things finances, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the surprising. Welcome to Wealthy Mind. I am your host, Misty Rose Gold, International Success Coach. And here at Wealthy Mind, we love to help you create and maintain a wealthy mind. Today, I have with me Rob. Hello, Rob.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing great, Misty. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, which is great news because I know that my listeners know that I had a little medical hiccup recently. So feeling fantastic and vibrant and back to myself, which is great.
I'm glad to hear that. And especially being a Monday to feel amazing. It's a great way to start the
Mm.
week. Here we go.
I always look forward to Monday. Always.
So if you love what you do, right?
Yes, I do.
You get back
Definitely.
into it. Yeah, I'm with you.
hmm Good. So give us your full name and tell us the name of your business.
Sure. I'm Rob Whittet. I'm one of the principal partners of the Brokerage Insurance Group. We are a independent insurance brokerage focusing mainly on property and casualty risks.
hmm
So that's anything from commercial insurance, personalized insurance, anything that falls underneath that, from like your general liability, work comp, professional liability, auto, home, recreational vehicles, to name some of the few different types of policies out there.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. So it's a pretty wide range of policies that you can offer, but I do want to hone in on the business community
sure.
since most of our listeners are business owners.
Yeah.
So for the insurance space, why would a business owner need to have business insurance, or what other potential needs are there? I know that's like kind of two questions, but let's just start with basic and then maybe go deeper.
Sure. So I'll start kind of a couple things there. So a lot of times business insurance, business owner might say, why do I need insurance? Well, one, they get a contract or they lease a space and it's a requirement to fulfill either that contract or to occupy something. So there's kind of like the necessity piece initially where, hey,
Okay.
I'm Misty, my business is booming, I'm gonna go rent this office location. And that landlord's like, sure, come on in here, but you need to have all this insurance to be able
hmm
to welcome people in here for you to be here in case something ever happens. And so there's like that initial like necessity piece. Well,
Okay.
let's go back to that office. Now you have 3 office spaces. All right, I'm gonna hire an employee. Well, now, when you put an employee on payroll, hey, I have a need for work comp because now I have
Okay.
someone that's injured on the job. Here you go. I need to make sure I'm compliant with the state of Colorado to employ somebody. And that's workers' comp insurance. So there's like that piece right there where the necessity kicks in. I think where I try to tell people a lot of times, like, just because it's a necessity doesn't mean it's the right coverage for you, or like that's what you need. So we really try to take like a full approach and be like, hey, Misty, let's explain, let's understand your scenario a little bit. And yeah, there's a piece that you might need of that general liability, but there might be more to it that we need to like fully understand your business better to well round you out better.
Okay. Excellent. So far we have you need to rent an office space. You're going to need some business insurance for that. And then workman's comp you're going to need if you take on W-2 employees. Do they need it for 1099s?
More than likely, no. Sometimes that's it's kind of a curveball because we have Pinnacle in the state, which is kind of like they're kind of like the largest work comp carrier in the state, and they kind of have some weird restrictions. But usually 1099, you're like a separate entity. So instead of being Rob Whittet Insurance or the brokerage insurance that I'm a part of now, it might be Misty Gold's insurance. So you're kind of your own entity. You kind of take care of your own insurance because you're like a separate 1099 factor, and it's usually not needed.
Okay. All right. That clears some things up because, some businesses have 1099 salespeople and, yeah.
Yeah. The thing I would say to that is like, it's a great question because there's a lot of business out there that runs with 1099. And I think it gets confusing because everyone's like, hey, you know, why does someone hire someone as 1099 versus W-2? A lot of times they might say, well, I don't want to control this person. They freelance, they kind of do what they come and go. The big thing though is you need to kind of have like a flow, almost like a flow chart a little bit of like, hey, here I'm the brokerage. If Misty comes and works for me and wants to sell for me on her own, that's fine, but she needs to maintain her own good, adequate insurance to represent herself well. But in the
Hmm.
event she does something representing me, that we both have coverage that can kind of protect ourselves or protect our businesses from something if something bad happened.
Okay. I am appreciating you explaining all these different needs for insurance because the general population, even in the business community, doesn't fully understand it. We need
It,
to know.
yeah, 100%. And it's confusing. And a lot of times, we'll have clients send us in like a contract and be like, hey, I got this, what I got to do. And we're like, man, this is some great attorney language, right? So we're trying to understand it with them. And, you know, that's the great thing in the brokerage where we're at. We have like a team of professionals. We kind of try to look at everybody from like what they do and just how we can kind of complement them and just hopefully understand it together. Because we're trying to limit any major holes, you know, that may be a concern for them down the road if something ever arises.
All right. Well, it sounds to me like you guys like to go above and beyond to really help out and provide value. Is that true?
Yeah, 100%. I feel insurance is tough. That's really why I like commercial insurance versus where I kind of focus in that. I think commercial insurance, we're more really like an advisor to the people, to our
Mm,
clients that own the business, because each business is unique. It's all different. But in insurance, they try to classify you in certain things. So they say, hey, Misty's business is as a business coach or consulting and should try to fit you in this window of like certain type of insurance.
hmm.
So we try to take that approach of like, hey, can we fit you in here, but can we also help you uncover and just talk through things and make sure that if, like again, like I said before, if anything ever happens, that Missy's not the one holding the bag, but maybe she has an insurance company to back her and support her through it.
So using me as a mock client,
Sure.
you would become one of my trusted advisors.
Would sure hope so. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. Now I'm tracking with your train of thought. I'm like, okay, so I am a trusted advisor for my clients. Now, they need to have more than me, of course. Like, it takes an army to build an empire. So
Sure.
you're part of that army. I'm part of that army. But if I think about it as me as a mock client, then you're my trusted advisor in the insurance space. Anything insurance related, I'm on the phone with you. I'm texting you, I'm emailing you, it's whatever, right? Like, I love having that peace of mind with different facets of my business. So, my tech, the tech team that I work with,
Hmm.
it's just an email away. They're just a phone call away. It's just a Zoom call away. Like, I feel so much more grounded and rooted when it comes to my business because I have a team of experts that cover an area that is not my expertise. So I see a much deeper value when people are looking at, like, well, why do I need a team of experts around me? Do you want to sleep better at night? Do you want
Right.
peace of mind? Do you want to know, like, that's covered? Like, one of my clients has a hail repair company for auto. I don't think about hailstorms anymore because I have his company in my back pocket.
Right.
Like, he has become one of those trusted resources where I'm like, oh, you took a worry off my plate that doesn't need to be there. If there's hail damage, sweet. Your company will help me take care of it. We'll get the car cleaned up. Bada boom, bada bing, we're done, right? He
Right.
takes care of the rental. If you don't have rental coverage, he takes care of the rental. It's like super clean process. So I love having people in my corner and in my empire where I don't have to think anymore. I don't have to concern myself with something that is not my specialty. So I see you in that space. And I want the listeners to think about maybe talking to an expert like yourself in the insurance if they have a business, so that if those situations come up, they can come to you and be like, hey, Rob, you know what? I trust you. I know you have my best interest in mind and the best interest of my business. You're also a business owner, so you know what it takes to be successful in that space, which is awesome. Double education,
Right.
right? But for the listeners that need that trusted advisor to give them that better peace of mind so they can sleep better at night, like, why can they trust you? Just let's go a little bit deeper with that part of it.
Yeah, so I think a couple of things that you brought up there. So I mean, my dad always told me like, treat people the way that you want to be treated. So I feel like we're always trying to like we're not perfect, but we're gonna try our hardest to figure out solutions for you.
Hmm.
And the reality is insurance, it doesn't cover everything, right? That's the unfortunate thing. Like it's a lot of times to some people like an expense until something really bad happens.
Hmm.
I feel like that's where we come in because we're really saying like, hey, we're trying to limit any catastrophe. My business partner Jared Schimbeckler always says like, you can survive a bad day, a bad week, but could you survive like a bad year? And that
Hmm.
always like resonates me. Like, if you had a bad business situation happen today, let's say, you know, cost you a couple $1,000s, most people could say, hey, I can rebound from that.
Hmm.
But what if you had a fire to a building you own and you didn't have fire coverage on it? And now all of a sudden you're out, $500,000 because you didn't cover the building, right? You're
Hmm.
like, why do you have a tenant in there? It was just sitting empty and it just, you know, I let the insurance go on it because the insurance canceled it because the tenant moved out and no one's in there and now it's vacant. So those are kind of things like just we can't control it all, but let's try to limit anything big from happening to you.
Hmm.
Um, the other thing you mentioned too, something about having like trusted advisors in your corner, like 100%. When I got into this business, I had a good friend that told me, hey, find yourself a good CPA, find a good attorney, find a good
Hmm.
business coach, find all these different trusted professionals, like you said, that you can lean on and help you because Rob can't know it all. There's no way. Even
Right?
even with the magic word of chat GBT or Gemini or all these things, like sure now I know more, right? Or I act like I know more, but that's a computer talking. Like you still need
Hmm.
the professionals to say, hey, Misty, take this. This is like Spanish a little bit. Translate it back to me in English so I can understand what you're saying.
Hmm. Totally. I agree with you. Like, I don't know everything either, which is why I lean on other advisors in my world, right?
For
And
sure. We help each other out. The other cool thing, like with our world, so we're a broker, and sometimes broker, I don't think people understand that too. Like we get compensated by the carrier. So the cool thing is like if you come and work with us, you don't pay additional fees, you don't pay like all these things. Like sure, Missy can go online and try to buy a policy for herself and figure it out.
hmm.
She might find the right coverage, she may not, she may just be compliant. But what we do is like we go and bring business to a carrier, and then the carrier compensates us for bringing them the business. So
Hmm.
to me, it's a very like, why wouldn't you? We work with we could at times work with hundreds of companies that are specialized in different things. And that's the great thing is like we can try to find you one that makes sense for what you do because it may be
Hmm.
a little bit different than what Joe does down the street.
So that brings up a topic where I've had in the past some of my clients, I send them to a commercial insurance person to have them look over the policy and make sure that they have the right coverage because some people have a commercial policy, but it's
Mhm.
not the right coverage for their business. And that can be a really icky situation if the shit hits the fan
Right.
and you think you're covered and you're not. Like, so any of the business owners that are listening, that do you do in-state only or out of state?
No, we actually work in most states. So we're hubbed here in Colorado, but
Hmm.
we can work kind of all over the US.
Okay. So any of the US listeners
Yeah, preface
that
US.
that have a business and you would like to get some eyes on your policy and just make sure it's the right coverage, please reach out to Rob. It's so, so, so important. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we try hardest, and like I said, we're an in-house shop. Like a lot of times too, people you might deal with one person and never hear from them again. Like we have a team of professionals here to kind of help with that because we really feel like the value is bringing excellent customer service. That's a big focal point of us is like trying to do the best thing for the client
Thank you for doing that.
for sure.
All right. This is good. It's sounding better and better the more we talk. Very good. So there's something that you brought up in our pre-interview that I would like to cover,
Okay.
which is not a common topic in the insurance space or the business space. So you had mentioned getting an insurance policy on key players in the business.
Yeah, key man insurance, key woman insurance is kind of what it's called. Um,
Hmm.
so a lot of times, yes, maybe Misty started the business, but as she grows over time, she might add key players to her team. And as that builds, these people could be very important to you as your business scales up. And so there's policies out there. It's a lot of times, it might be like a disability policy on the employee, maybe some sort of like life insurance policy that just helps protect Misty, the business owner now, if something ever were to happen to that employee, say like something kind of catastrophic happened, like they were working really hard on the job, maybe left, went home that night, passed away, had a heart attack. It may be hard to pick up that slack from that person that, you know, helped you so much to build that business. And a
Hmm.
key policy can kind of help not replace them by any means, but not have catastrophicness from losing them. Because you're already going
Okay.
to deal with the pain and suffering of it. This could kind of help you kind of ride the ship out to like figure out what am I going to do? I just lost Joe. Joe is my number one, business coach. He helped me scale this up from one employee was just me and Misty to now the team of 100 professionals. Like, how am I going
Hmm.
to how am I going to replace them?
Hmm. So you can get insurance policies on employees.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if there's a business partnership situation, would you take out an insurance policy on your business partner?
100%. I mean, I think it's extremely important. Back to like how I said, have trusted professionals this is where the good business attorneys good with have like a good agreement in place for like an operating agreement or something between the partnership that you kind of everyone understands their role and also if something were to happen because if in my situation I have a business partner Jared and we're 50-50 owners and if something were to happen to me I want Jared to have the opportunity the business bought a life policy in the event something happened to me that he could basically buy out my estate for my ownership into the business. So instead of like Jarrett trying to figure out, man, Rob's gone, I'm struggling again. What am I going to do? Maybe, my business part could transfer to my estate or to like, say my daughter or something like that. This kind of helps provide like a little bit of a protection there for Jared to be like, hey, I have first right to buy out the business. I have now the funds to help do so. So I'm not just, what am I going to come up with this? Life insurance policy can help provide that extra reassurance there and help, like I said before, ride the ship.
And I'm guessing you guys worked that into your partnership agreement, right?
Yep.
Okay. Because you don't want to be stuck with a business partner that you don't want to work with, like a spouse,
Right. Well, that's
right?
another thing. So like if I'm not currently married, but I was married. So if something happened to me, Jared doesn't want to work with my now ex-wife or wife at the time. And there's nothing wrong with that, but she knows nothing about my business.
Hmm.
So gives Jared the opportunity to like, okay, I know insurance. I'm gonna miss Rob, but I'm gonna try to ride out the ship and make sure I can keep this business going. And now I have proceeds to buy out Rob's portion to his estate. If it was my wife, here's money to my wife to say, hey, take it on and I'm sorry for what happened, but at least I can help contribute and, fulfill that loss that you had.
All right. So I like the strategy there to protect the business, protect the partnership, give the partner an option. Um, the partner isn't left stranded because you went and just died. I mean, how rude.
All right, how rude. What was I thinking? But
I
how many
know.
times this
Come
stuff
on.
happens and you have like a handshake and it's, insurance is important. It's just as important having a good business attorney that you can kind of structure it because things change and evolve and just time catches up and you're like, whoa, you look back and you're like, holy cow, what happened? So
Yeah. It's kind of like the prenup conversation. These days, I think everybody should have a prenup in place just because it's a smart play in the marriage, right? You don't want to get divorced, but just in case, it's messy, really, really, really messy on the back end.
right.
If you don't have something in place like a prenup to protect you financially throughout the process, right? So it's the same kind of situation. If you're a business owner with a business partner, make sure you have your partnership agreement and then talk to Rob about getting some insurance on your business partner just in case they're rude enough to die on you.
Yeah. Let's hope not, but yeah, let's protect each other. And if you have that all-star employee of Misty and you want to say, hey, she kicks butt and does a really good job for us, let's protect that too. Where,
Hmm.
hey, gosh forbid if something ever happened that we can keep the business going because we lost her.
Totally. I like that. And I think it like if you have a key player as an employee and you take out a life insurance policy on them, I think it's if it's presented the right way, it will make them feel valued.
100%. And there's also some cool ways too. Like there's different types of life policies out there and products that can build like an asset. So you can build what they call cash value in them. So like we have a key person policy on one of our employees, and the thing
Hmm.
is like, hey, if we get to a period of time and you want to separate from us because you just want to say be done with it and like retire or we hit a goal or something like that, or
Hmm.
move on and he's still living, it's like a living benefit. So he could now have the cash value in that policy for basically nothing for us kind of like, as part of like a condition like, hey, working with us.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Bonus.
Bonus. And I mean, it's kind of like, I don't want to call it like a golden handcuff, but it's like a reassurance to each other, like, hey, do me a solid, right? You're busting butt helping us grow this thing. Again, Rob and Jared can't build the brokerage insurance group. We need a team of professionals to build this. So
Hmm.
let's help each other out, take care of each other.
Yeah, so in my world, that is called good culture.
100%.
Yeah.
You keep trying to have good culture, right? You want to have a positive experience because the reality is people get into business. This is off insurance, but people work because they want to work with people,
Hmm.
right? Like
Hmm.
not everyone wakes up one day and says, "Hey, I'm Misty. I want to get in the insurance world." Yeah, I'd like to think that happens, but it just really doesn't, right? But
No.
hopefully they choose to want to work with Rob because, hey, Rob stands by what he says. He works hard side by side me.
Hmm.
They take care of me. All these things. Like, you have to have a good, positive like work environment too.
You do. It reflects on the business, it reflects on the customers. Like culture is so important. And I appreciate that you guys work to create a good culture.
We try. So another like good piece of advice someone told me is like, hey, we're like water. So as water rises, we all rise together. So if you kind of think like
Hmm.
your office as the team, as you rise up, you rise together.
Hmm.
Sometimes the water drops down and you got to kind of like hold them together and like, form tight and like help to try to raise it back up.
Hmm. It's true. And together you might go a little bit slower, but you can go further.
Yeah, you can go slower, but you can achieve so much more. Again, Rob has
Hmm.
one mind, and even if I use ChatGPT to like get all my answers, like it's only so much, right? Like I need Misty's
Yeah.
brain, I need Jared's brain, I need Soup,
Hmm.
who's the guy I was just talking about's brain. Like we need our team of people that can, we do so much better because there's more of us, wanting to be engaged and contribute to
Hmm.
the greater good.
Totally. So that brings me back to one of the reasons why people can trust you is because you treat people the way you want to be treated. Where did you learn that?
Oh, that was my dad. I mean, I remember, he was always kind of like leadership roles. He was in kind of actually back to water, but he's in water management the whole time I was a kid, and he was like a district manager of a water district up in northern Colorado. And I just remember like I was kind of getting out of college and trying to do interviews, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, I could just use some tips, some advice." And he's like, "Hey, I've always taught you treat people the way you want to be treated. If you kind of live by that mantra, simple as it sounds, but it's like it's true. Just like be kind, be nice, be helpful. Like there's so much more. I do. There's so much more out there if Rob can give, and you know, if I give, I know stuff will come from that. Like I keep trying, and that's. I think if we all kind of just focus on that instead of just me, but more, what can I do to help you?
Mhm.
The world's just a better place.
It is. I subscribe to that policy as well in my business. It's show up, provide value, and see where I can help out. So it's not complicated. It's just a matter of right time, right person. That's it. Like I have an example of today, there was a gentleman that wanted to do a complimentary session with me last week. He said to reach out to him last week, and I did, and didn't hear back from him. So I sent another little text being like, "Hey, you still interested?" And he was like, "Yeah, but I don't know if the money's right in my business. I don't know if I have time," which are just superficial objections to something much deeper. And I know that.
Right.
So I told him, I was like, regardless of time and money, I offered you a complimentary session and it provides a lot of value. So I want to give it to you no matter what. And he was like, oh, like, this is not a hard sell. No, it's not a hard sell. I offered it to you. I want to follow through. Now I've done my part. It's up to him. So,
Well, it just you're offering your time to help him out, and
mhm,
sometimes people can't see out their own way.
yeah.
That's, I mean, myself included. Like you can get bogged down, buried down with stuff, but you have to keep moving forward, right?
Hmm.
And sometimes it's hard to do it by yourself. You need back to your trusted advisors, right? You need your
Hmm.
supporters to help you trudge through the mud sometimes because it is mud.
Hmm.
Guess what? You can get out of the mud. Mud dries up if it gets hot, right? Then it's
Mm.
hard dirt,
Yes. It always makes me think of we're stronger together.
100%.
So when you're in the shitstorm and you're facing challenge after challenge after challenge, which has been my year, like you need to lean on those people. You need to lean on your advisors. You need to lean on people that you know that you can trust, that you can share those challenges with. Like, who can you open up to? Like, that is key. So, in my coaching, like, I am that person for a lot of people. And I hope I'm not the only one. I hope they have like other advisors outside of me because I don't know everything, right? So, but they trust me because I create that space of, you know what, I've got you.
Right.
And there's a commitment level. When I sign up with a client, I am committing myself to them. I am committing my time to them. It's not just, hey, you're paying me for my services. No, there's a commitment. We're in this together. I'm linking arms with you. And when you do face those challenges, it's a lot easier when you know that there's somebody by your side.
100%. Sometimes you just need that support. And that's, I mean, I feel like that's why you're successful at what you do too, because it's like you
Hmm.
care, you're willing to go toe to toe with them and figure it out. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's not the easiest conversation. Sometimes it's tough love, but it's reality.
Yep.
It's, hey, sorry, Joe, you're not pulling your weight. I need you to step it up more. Like I can't,
Hmm.
you've been out in and out the last couple of weeks. You can see your production's down. What are you gonna do to change? Like, let's figure this out. And sometimes it's not just the work, it's the whole sphere, right? We're all like
Hmm.
work-life balance. Like, what are you doing? Are you taking
Hmm.
care of yourself? Are you watching out for yourself? Like, is the life at home okay? Like, it can affect you. And having that trusted partner or advisor with you is like,
Hmm.
hey, sometimes I just need someone that can listen to me. Provide me your ear.
That is objective. Right. So it's different talking with somebody like myself versus a romantic partner or a spouse. Like it's a lot more difficult for a spouse to be like, you know what, Rob, get out of your head. Your head's full of trash right now. It's full of bullshit. Like get out of your head,
Right.
like it's tough for a spouse to say that. Now, when somebody like myself comes along, said with love, your head is what's getting in the way.
Right.
It's different. It hits different because you know that I'm not trying to sugarcoat you. I'm not trying to say what you want to hear because I'm in love with you, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, someone might see like they're seeing their view if your spouse maybe through like rose-colored glasses, right? Where
Mhm.
you need that other kind of accountability partner to be like, actually, no, dude, you can't do it like that. Like we have to fix the process. The way we've been doing it is not working. You know, we're losing money as a company doing it this way. We have to reevaluate. We have to evolve. And that's kind of going business. Like I think I told you this before we got on air. I was like, I don't like when it's quiet in the office.
Mhm.
I don't want chaos. I don't want craziness. I don't like that either. But I want, like I like that activity of just like the phone
Yes.
ringing and just like things going on and just like people have stuff going on. And, my role now is a little bit different than it was when I first started, is like I'm more of a leader. And like, how can I get Ryan to be better in the office? How can I help Emily, step up and do these things and just like seeing them grow.
Mhm.
But I need like, I thrive on that challenge, right? Of just
Mhm.
keep moving forward through that mud, like we said, because sometimes it is.
Mhm. It is. And fortunately, in business, we're never going to get bored because we have challenges each week
Or day.
or day.
Or hour or wait. Right.
Yeah. No, I get it. Activity. And that was the perfect word to use. You like activity in the office. You like to know that the train is moving.
Yes. Because when it's
Hmm.
quiet, usually you're either moving backwards, right? If you're not moving forward, it's hard to stay still. You're usually moving the other way.
Hmm.
Keep
That
pushing.
is true. Well, Rob, I really appreciate our conversation today and filling in the audience on business and commercial lines of business and why do we need different lines for our businesses and just there might be other people out there that can handle those situations, but can you trust them? Do they have your back? Can you link arms with them? And I believe that Rob is one of those people. I've spent enough time with him and I'm a pretty good judge of characters.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be on here and just even talk. You guys can listen to me kind of just chat about just different things. But yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to kind of share a little bit more about who we are at the Brokerage Insurance Group and a little bit about myself.
BIG, right?
The BIG.
It's way more fun to say.
I know it's kind of funny because I don't think so. Jared came up with that, and then I think like it just kind of evolved. I'm like, dude, did you realize what you did? And I think he had a moment. I gotta give him props because it's like so simple, but like so cool. I'm like, how did no one else have that, right? I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, that's super cool. So, what is your website?
So we are thebrokerageg.com. And like I said, we're based in Centennial, Colorado. We're a full service insurance broker. And yeah, here to help if we can.
Very cool. Well, you guys, if you enjoyed Rob and his information and that he is a trusted advisor, please reach out to him. You will not be sorry. Make sure you get your policy looked at, checked over, fine tooth comb it, and make sure you're good to go. Or if you want a new policy on somebody, or if you're worried about your business partner being rude and dying on you, make sure you get a life policy on them.
Right. And don't be rude.
Yeah. Don't be rude, please. Come on. Well, thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. I know we will. So, anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being a wonderful audience, and thank you for helping us reach milestones as a podcast. So, I appreciate all of you, and until next time, we will see you soon. Thank you for tuning in to the Wealthy Mind podcast. Please be sure to download the Wealthy Mind app today and make sure to support your local Dress for Success.